Imagine finding out the guy you just disrespected signs your boss's paycheck. It was just past 6:30 in the evening. The sun was going down, painting the Arizona sky in beautiful colors, orange, pink, and a little purple too. Marcus Donovan drove his black SUV off Loop 101 and turned into the driveway of the Sierra Mare Resort. He rolled the windows down just a little. The desert air still felt warm, like a soft blanket that had been sitting in the sun too long. In the back seat, his daughter Sophia was fast asleep. Her curly hair touched the window, and her little tablet had fallen to the seat next to her. She had been watching cartoons, but dozed off an hour ago. She was 9, and this weekend was supposed to be her birthday trip. Her dad had promised to take her somewhere magical. She'd picked Sierra Mare because she'd seen pictures of its big, flowing waterfall in the hotel lobby. Marcus glanced back at her with a smile. His eyes, calm but tired, softened. He was a man who had seen a lot, a former Marine. Now he worked in real estate. Quiet, calm investments. Nothing loud. He didn't like showing off. He liked things to be smooth, clean, and fair. He stepped out of the car, stretched his arms, and carefully opened Sophia's door. She blinked awake and rubbed her eyes. "Are we here, Daddy?" she asked, her voice sleepy but excited. "Yeah, baby," Marcus said gently. "We're here." She grabbed her stuffed bunny from the floor and jumped out. Her sneakers hit the pavement with a little tap. Marcus took her hand and led her toward the entrance. The large glass doors of Sierra Mare opened smoothly, letting in cool air. Inside, the lobby was everything Sophia dreamed it would be. Shiny, marble floors, big flower pots, and most of all, the grand waterfall. "Wow," she whispered, staring. "It's so big." Water trickled down clear glass walls, glowing under lights like diamonds sliding down a mirror. She pulled on Marcus's sleeve. "Can we stay right next to that?" He chuckled. "Let's see what room they gave us first." They walked to the front desk. Behind it stood a young woman in a dark blazer. Her hair was pulled back tightly, and her name tag said Mackenzie. She didn't smile. She didn't even look up right away. Marcus cleared his throat kindly. "Good evening. Reservation under Donovan Travel Partners." Mackenzie looked up slowly. She stared for a beat longer than she needed to, then began typing. Sophia leaned against the desk, still watching the waterfall. Marcus kept his voice, calm, polite, but something felt off. After a moment, Mackenzie frowned at her screen. "Sorry, sir, we're fully booked." "There must have been a mistake." Marcus blinked. "Excuse me. I said we're full tonight. You'll need to try another hotel." "There's a budget place across the street. We have a reservation," Marcus said. He kept his voice low and respectful. "My company owns this property." Mackenzie sighed and looked away like she was bored. "That may be, but it's not showing up. Nothing I can do." Just then, a white couple in matching golf outfits stepped up beside Marcus. Mackenzie's face lit up with a smile. "Welcome back, Mr. and Mrs. Stanford. Your suite is ready." She handed over keys quickly. With both hands, Marcus didn't say a word. He just turned around and gently guided Sophia to a bench nearby. His hand was firm but calm on her back. She didn't understand, but she could feel something was wrong. "Daddy, why did she tell us to go away?" she asked, hugging her bunny. Marcus didn't answer right away. He stared at the desk, jaw set. Inside, something heavy pressed against his chest. This wasn't a glitch. It wasn't an accident. It was a choice. Marcus took out his phone and called his assistant. "Hey, check the Sierra Mare reservation, under Donovan Travel Partners. I want the confirmation number now." Within 2 minutes, the assistant confirmed it. Everything was correct. Paid, logged, valid. Marcus walked back to the desk. Mackenzie was gone. A new clerk stood there, this one, a young man named Calvin. "Sir," Calvin said, startled, "I'm so sorry. I see your reservation here. Room, the Rue 14. Right away. Let me get your keys." As he typed quickly, Marcus noticed Mackenzie walking past. Her face had turned pale. She avoided his eyes. "Thank you," Marcus said as he took the key card. "Can I speak with your assistant general manager, Amelia Rowe?" Calvin nodded nervously. "Yes, sir. I'll let her know." Upstairs, their suite was quiet and beautiful. It had a view of the mountains and a little patio where Sophia could see lizards crawling on the rocks below. Sophia pulled off her shoes and jumped on the bed. "This is so cool, Daddy." Marcus smiled, but his heart was still heavy. She sat beside him. "Daddy, why didn't they want to give us our room?" He looked at her, really looked at her. So small, so full of trust. He took a deep breath. "Because some people still judge others by how they look, by their skin, or by their clothes, or by what they think someone is worth." Sophia blinked. "That's silly." Marcus kissed her forehead. "It is, but it still happens." The next morning, while Sophia played by the pool, Marcus watched the lobby from a nearby cafe seat. He wore sunglasses and sipped coffee slowly, like someone with nowhere to be. At around 9:15 a.m., a well-dressed black businessman walked into the lobby. He looked confident, pulling a silver suitcase. When he approached the desk, Mackenzie spoke with him briefly, then shook her head and pointed toward the door. The man looked confused, hurt, embarrassed. That was enough. Marcus stood up. He walked straight to the man and extended his hand. "Good morning. I'm Marcus Donovan. Welcome to Sierra Mare. This is my property." The man blinked in surprise. "Wait, you own this place?" "I do," Marcus said calmly. "Let me make sure you're taken care of." He walked back to the desk with the man beside him. Mackenzie's mouth fell open. She couldn't speak. Marcus didn't raise his voice. He didn't insult her. He just smiled slightly and said, "Let's not do this again." The man got his room, and that day, every single staff member in the hotel began to whisper, who was this man? Why hadn't anyone told them the owner was him? That evening, Marcus got a message. Amelia Rowe, assistant general manager, wanted to speak with him. He said yes. Up in his suite, Sophia was playing with her desert pig stuffed toy from the gift shop. Marcus looked out at the mountain view, silent. Tomorrow would be a day of truth, because Marcus hadn't come just to relax. He had come to test something, and now the test had a result. The morning sun poured through the glass walls of Sierra Mare's lobby like golden syrup. Guests bustled through the doors with tennis rackets, iced lattes, and wide smiles. But beneath the surface, a quiet storm was brewing. Marcus sat on a wooden bench near the waterfall, pretending to read a magazine. He wasn't just watching, he was observing, testing, measuring. Sophia had gone off to a morning craft session with the resort's kids club. She had made a new friend named Daisy and was painting rocks to look like turtles. But Marcus wasn't. Here to relax, not anymore. He had seen enough, and now it was time to speak. At 11 a.m. sharp, he walked into the conference lounge off the main lobby. Waiting inside were Amelia Rowe, the assistant general manager, and Gordon Presley, a regional director who had flown in after receiving Marcus's message. Both stood up as he entered. Amelia, a woman in her early 40s with smart glasses and a nervous smile, extended her hand. "Mr. Donovan, we're so sorry for the—" Marcus raised a hand. "Before you start apologizing, let's sit." They sat. He placed his phone on the table, screen down. There was a long silence. Amelia looked ready to burst. "And I want to say this wasn't how we usually—" "You know what bothers me most?" Marcus asked softly, his voice steady. "It's not the mistake. It's that it wasn't a mistake." Gordon cleared his throat. "What do you mean?" Marcus leaned forward slightly. "Mackenzie saw me. She made a decision. She looked at me, my daughter, and decided we didn't belong. That's not a glitch in your system. That's a pattern. Amelia nodded slowly. You're right. There's no excuse. No, there's not, Marcus said, especially since it happened again. I watched her do the same thing to another guest this morning. I had to step in. Gordon's face tightened. We'll speak to her. It's not just about her, Marcus interrupted. It's your culture, your people. You built a place that looks beautiful but forgets to look deeper, and I won't have that tied to my name. Silence filled the room like thick smoke. Then Marcus added, I want a full audit of every guest. Complaint in the last year. I want mandatory bias training for all employees, front desk, housekeeping, everyone. I want Mackenzie suspended and reviewed, and I want compensation offered to every guest who was turned away unfairly. Gordon and Amelia exchanged wide-eyed looks. That's a lot, Gordon said carefully. No, Marcus replied. It's the bare minimum. He stood up and buttoned his jacket. Amelia stood with him. What about Mackenzie? She can apologize. To me if she wants, Marcus said, but she owes that apology to my daughter. That evening back in their suite, Sophia sat on the floor feeding her stuffed desert pig imaginary marshmallows. Marcus sat beside her, reading emails. Then, a knock at the door. He opened it to find Mackenzie. She wasn't in her uniform. She wore jeans and a simple grey top. Her eyes were red. Her hands trembled. Mr. Donovan, she said softly, I'm so sorry for what I did. I assumed things I shouldn't have. I judged you and your daughter without knowing anything. Her voice cracked. I'm ashamed, sweetheart, behind him. You didn't deserve to see what you saw. I was wrong. Sophia looked at her dad, confused. Marcus stepped aside and let Mackenzie enter. She knelt beside Sophia. You're special and smart, and you deserve kindness. I'm sorry I didn't show that. Sophia looked at her bunny, then at Mackenzie. It's okay, she whispered. People can change. Marcus smiled just a little. Mackenzie stood. Thank you, she said to Marcus and left. Later that night, Sophia and Marcus lay on the bed watching cartoons. Daddy? She asked. Yes? Why? Did she come to say sorry? Because sometimes, he said, people need to feel the weight of what they've done. That's how they learn. Sophia nodded slowly. Will she be nicer now? I think so, Marcus said. There was a long pause. Daddy? Yeah, baby? I'm glad you're my dad. Marcus's heart squeezed tight. I'm glad too. And, for the first time in a while, he felt a little peace. But even peace has its limits. Because the next morning, as they packed up to leave, a new problem arrived. One that Marcus never saw coming. It started with a phone call. His assistant's voice sounded tight. Sir, we found something strange in the resort's financials. What kind of strange? Marcus asked, his voice changing. There's an account, a separate one, hidden. Marcus sat down. The calm was gone. He looked at Sophia, dancing with her bunny in the sunshine. Someone had been hiding something, and Sierra Mera was just the beginning. Marcus Donovan wasn't a man who chased shadows. He dealt in facts, numbers, and truth. But that morning, standing beside his car with a fresh coffee and a half-packed suitcase, he felt something was off. A weight in the air that didn't come from the Arizona heat. He stared at his phone, rereading the email from his assistant. Hidden ledger detected. Separate staff-run account. Unauthorized charges logged from Sierra Mare guest services, dating back 18 months. It wasn't just discrimination anymore. It was fraud. While Sophia played nearby, her new desert pig clutched in one arm, Marcus dialed Gordon Presley. The line rang once. Donovan, Gordon answered, voice tight. We need to talk, now. I'm already here, Gordon replied. Come to the oak room. Marcus hung up, eyes narrowing. He took one last look at Sophia. Back in a bit, Munchkin, she smiled. Bring me a cookie. He nodded. 2. Inside the oak room, Small conference hall lined with oak panels and framed photos of desert vistas. Gordon stood by the window with a tablet in his hand. Marcus walked in. "What's this? I'm hearing about a hidden account." Gordon exhaled. "It's worse than we thought. A few junior managers created an unregistered system. They were upcharging guests, pocketing cash tips, and making it look like upgrades." Marcus's jaw tightened. "And you didn't know?" "We had no idea," Gordon said. "It was well hidden." "Who's involved?" "A handful of staff," he replied. "Some have been here for years." "And Mackenzie?" Gordon hesitated. "Not directly, but she knew." She looked away. Marcus paced the room. "So on top of judging guests by skin color, they were robbing them too." Gordon didn't speak. Marcus slammed his palm on the table. "I built this place to be different, to give people dignity, and this is what's been happening under my nose." Gordon looked like he'd aged 10 years in 10 minutes. "We've already started suspensions, investigations, but the damage isn't just numbers," Marcus said. "It's trust, it's reputation. It's my daughter watching how adults treat people." Later that afternoon, Marcus met with Amelia, Gordon, and the full department heads. It wasn't a friendly chat. "This resort is going dark for 30 days, Marcus said. "We'll cover refunds, honor transfers, and protect the innocent staff. But Sierra Mare is not reopening until we clean house." Eyes widened. Some gasped. Amelia swallowed hard. "You're serious?" Marcus stared her down. "Dead serious," he pointed at the whiteboard. "We'll partner with equity training experts, install surveillance accountability, conduct anonymous staff reviews. The old way is over." A long silence filled the room. Then, slowly, heads nodded. Outside the conference room, Sophia sat with a coloring book, drawing a big mountain and a rainbow. Mackenzie approached with a cupcake in hand. "Is chocolate okay?" Sophia looked up. "Only if it has sprinkles." They laughed. Marcus watched from the glass door. Maybe people could change, but change had to be earned. Their last night at Sierra Mare was quiet. The lobby no longer hummed with shallow cheer. It was almost still, like a storm had come through and washed away the old. As they packed their bags, Calvin knocked on the door. "Hey, Mr. Donovan. Just wanted to say, I'm proud of what you did. I was afraid to speak up, but now I feel like I can." He handed Sophia a bag of road snacks, juice, crackers, gummy worms. "Thank you," she beamed. Calvin knelt beside. "You're going to be someone very important one day, just like your dad." Marcus felt his throat tighten. "Appreciate you," he said. The next morning, as they pulled out of the resort gates, Sophia looked out the window. "Will we come back someday?" Marcus nodded. "Yeah, when it's better." She smiled. "Good. I want to bring Daisy, and we'll ride horses." He smiled too. "Deal." She reached into her backpack and pulled out the desert pig. "He says thank you too." Marcus chuckled. "You're welcome, Mr. Pig." They drove in silence for a few miles. Then Sophia looked at her dad. "Are you happy now?" Marcus didn't answer right away. He thought about the bias, the lies, the hidden account, the courage it took to speak up, the weight of being seen as less even when you owned the place. He thought about Sophia's innocence and how it had been bruised, but not broken. "I'm not happy," he said finally, "but I'm proud." Back in San Diego, a letter arrived. 2 weeks later, it was from Gordon. Inside was a report. Sierra Mare had been fully cleared, staff retrained, policies rewritten, and a new community board formed to oversee all guest relations. There was also a note. "You didn't just fix a resort. You built a mirror, and we all had to look into it." Enclosed was a sketch drawn by Sophia and Daisy. It showed a hotel, 2 girls, a rainbow, and a big smiling man with a cape. Super Dad. Marcus wiped his eyes. He'd come to Sierra Mare for a birthday weekend. He left, having rebuilt more than a vacation spot. He rebuilt a standard.